All right, now let's see how we can solve this problem. As I told you before, whenever you want to solve a problem, always try to break it down into smaller, easier to understand, and easier to solve problems. In this case, we don't want to worry about different types of brackets. That's way too complex. So let's narrow down the scope of this problem and only focus on parentheses. So we can have an expression like this. Now we write code to see if this expression is balanced or not. When we come up with a working solution, then we'll expand it to support other types of brackets. So with that, let's review our algorithm one more time. We're going to iterate over this string, get each character at a time. If this character is an opening bracket, we're going to push it onto top of our stack. If it's a regular character, we're going to ignore it. If it's a closing bracket, we're going to pop the item on top of the stack. Now, at the end, if our stack is empty, that means for every left bracket, we had a right bracket. So our expression is balanced. But if there is still something in the stack, that means we had an opening bracket, but we didn't close it. For example, if our expression looks like this, we push this onto top of our stack, but at the end, if our stack is not empty, that means we didn't have this closing bracket over here. So let's go ahead and implement the solution. We're going to add a new class to our project, call it expression. Now in this class, we're going to add a method that returns a Boolean value. We call it isBalanced and give it a string parameter called input. Now here we need a stack to store our left brackets. So let's create a stack of characters. Next, we need to iterate over our input string. So here we type a for each loop for each character in our input array. Now, if the character is the left bracket, we're going to push it onto the top of our stack. So stack.push character. If it's a closing bracket, then we need to pop one item from our stack. So let's implement that over here, stack.pop. Now at the end, once we're done iterating over the string, we're going to return stack.empty. So if the stack is empty, we're going to return true. That means this string is balanced. But if there is still something in the stack, that means we had an opening bracket, but we didn't close it. So let's test our algorithm. Back to the main class. I'm going to create a new expression. So expression like this. Then we call the isBalanced method and give it this string. Let's store the result over here and then print it on the console. Now, it would be nicer if we pass the string to the constructor of the expression class. So we initialize this expression with this string. Then we wouldn't need this parameter over here. This is proper object-oriented programming. But we don't want to get hung up on too many details here. Let's just focus on solving this problem. So we're going to run our program. Obviously, this expression is balanced, so we get true. Beautiful. Now we need to look at edge cases. What edge cases do we have here? Well, one is that we have a left bracket, but we don't close it. An extension of that is that we have two left brackets, but only one right bracket. And finally, another edge case is where we have a right bracket followed by a left bracket. So the order is reversed. Let's test our algorithm against these edge cases. So I'm going to remove the right bracket. This is not balanced. Beautiful. What about two left brackets followed by one right bracket? This is also not balanced. Beautiful. What if we swap the order of our brackets? So we have the right bracket first and then the left bracket. Oops, we have an exception. Empty stack exception. And this happened on this line where we're popping an item from our stack. So before we do this, we need to check to see if our stack is empty. If it's empty, that means we didn't really push an opening bracket first, so the expression is not balanced. So I'm going to add a code block over here and check to see. If the stack is empty, we're going to immediately return false. Let's run our program one more time. All right. No more exception. Everything is working. Beautiful. So we're done with the first step. Next, we'll add support for other types of brackets.